So, oh my gosh, first things first, I'm not wearing any makeup because I've had 2 days in the sun and I feel like a new woman. I don't think I've ever gone this long without actually getting some sun. Usually England provides some, and I love England for that. It's not really been the case for a while. And usually I've like been places, but I feel like the weather's sort of been holistic wherever I've been going. And I've been getting the same sorts of weather whenever I'm traveling. And you know when you're just like, I need some sun, some vitamin D, obviously always doing things safely, don't worry about your girl. And now that I have had a little bit of a sort of golden glow bestowed upon me, the makeup's in the bin. It's not in the bin, I promise. It is not in the bin, but I didn't wear makeup all day yesterday. I was in the garden, I was living my best life. We basically came back from France and we had enough time to sort of unpack, get ourselves sorted, and then the next day it was our friends Billy and Harriet's wedding, and we had actually kind of nominated ourselves as tribute to shoot and film their wedding for them. It was just so lovely to be there, and for us that's the one wedding gift that we are able to give like some of our friends. Some of our friends are like, you are not shooting our wedding, you are going to enjoy yourselves and you will get on with it. And other friends, we love to be able to like do this because we find it so easy. It's a way for us to give something a little bit more meaningful. So we were shooting that, and actually the only footage that we have of Ali and I, we didn't get pictures together, we didn't get anything, is this one video that our friend Jez got of us, where we'd reached the end of the night. I am in my Dior dress and my Primark flip-flops and we are cheersing to our first slice of pizza of the night. Not even an alcoholic beverage, just a slice of pizza. But we still ended up having such fun. In fact, I'm surprised by how much fun we had considering we were working, because by the time we got home we were like, ooh, and we had our friends stay over and it was really lovely. And then the next day was a blinder weather-wise, and we had the loveliest day where our friends Jez and Pippa like helped us in the garden, and I can't tell you how wholesome it was. And like Pippa, whenever she comes over, she always like helps with like deadheading my flowers, and she's like this little ethereal fairy that just makes gardens beautiful. And it was just lovely, really, really lovely. And it was the sunniest, warmest day, so I was in the garden all day, and again, doing the most with the tan. So I had such a lovely weekend, and it is now Monday and I have been up and I've done my 5K, and it was brutal today. I didn't enjoy it because I was just aching. I think it's walking in heels. I'm so out of practice that it's not as easy anymore. I think I might need to clean my camera lens. Are you a little bit dirty? Because I did notice when I was editing that you're a little bit dirty. There we go, a little bit better, I reckon. Anywho, I feel like we need a bit of a catch up, don't you? I feel like we do, because life has been just, it feels like it's been here, there and everywhere recently. So I thought maybe we can have a bit of a catch up, and I can also bring you up to speed with the house. Because, my goodness me, the living room is finished, and I am going to be showing you the living room looking finished, being finished, all of those things. We have painted it, and honestly, I think it's the best decision we've ever made, so I cannot wait to show you that. The floor downstairs, I feel like I'm hopefully going to see a lot of progress down there today. The entire floor in the games room was almost finished at the end of last week in terms of laying. Obviously grouting and things like that will take time, but we're getting there. It's one of those processes that actually I'm quite grateful that it's taking a little bit longer, because it's giving me time to get my ducks in a line. We've had the CAD drawings for the bar, and Ali and I both need to go over those and just sort of finalise what it is that we want. I think going to Maison de Bray really provided such a huge amount of inspiration in terms of finishes and what we like and that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to bringing some of that into the influence of like our interiors, because that is genuinely where I learn what I like in interiors. It is through travel. That's what I've realised over the years is traveling to me and experiencing these places that have a really beautiful and considered approach to interiors is where I'm most inspired. I had another one of my weird realizations the other day where I was like, I realize what happens to me when I see beautiful things that have been curated and time has been spent on them, is that I think, to me, that is an art form. Not everyone will agree with me, we all have our opinions, but for me it's an art form, and it takes so much time and consideration and learnings. Like, I cannot put into words the possibilities with interiors. It's so much pressure. Like, if you think about, just for example, how many different finishes and types there are of light switches. If you don't know, Google it. Because when you are about to change what in our home is, like, pardon me using an actual figure here, but this is the ballpark figure of how much it's going to cost just to buy the switches, is £10,000 to change all of the switches and plug sockets in our house. When you are looking at that as a figure, getting that wrong, or getting the ones that you think you love and then all of a sudden finding ones that you love even more that you didn't know existed, that is such a huge amount of pressure. And so what I've realised is that the reason why I'm so overwhelmed when I see beautiful things is that I fully understand the time and expertise and talent that it takes to be able to do that. Because when it comes to interiors, the possibilities are endless. And so that's been a real light bulb moment for me as to why I'm always so taken aback, why I'm always so in awe, because I've experienced similar in doing our own house and making changes in our own house. We're hoping to bring a lot of the inspiration from Maison de Braille, from our travels obviously in England as well, our travels in Tuscany. That more rustic interior has definitely felt like a sort of coming home when it comes to how I feel in my home. You'll know that when we moved in here, it was all very shiny and polished and new, and for about a year I was like, oh my gosh, don't touch anything. And even now, the last remaining thing that is shiny in our house is the light switches. And I cannot tell you how many times I catch Ali polishing the light switches, because it's not one of those light switches that looks good with grubby fingerprints on, because it's shiny chrome. And that is the worst for that. And that's why I'm so over the moon that Ali has agreed to change the light switches, because I've always said, I'll buy them, but I'm not going to pay someone on top of the cost of changing them to change them when you can do it room by room. I don't care how long you take. Just if we've got an electrician in the house, I'm gonna penny pinch there, sorry. So I'm gonna give you a big old update on everything that has been happening in the house. But what I realise is on sort of everyone's lips at the moment when it comes to the home, and because there's so much happening here, the two questions that I'm getting asked most at the moment is, are you done in the garden? Like, is there anything more planned in the garden? And are you still planning to move house? And so I thought I'd probably just give you an update on them. When it comes to the garden, we are at that point now where it's just little bits and pieces that I think we'd like to do, but there's no real necessity to it. So the garden's bones and structure and everything is in place. We have all of our furniture, we have all of the finishes that we love, the beds are done. I think what I now have a confidence in is buying the flowers that are potentially in bloom in that season and adding them to the beds and enjoying them, like I've done with the foxgloves at the front of the house. And I've actually found a lot of enjoyment in being able to add additions to the beds where I can. So that's been really, really lovely. There's things that we would really like to introduce. We would like to have some kind of like water feature somewhere in the garden, because the sound of trickling water is like pouring hot wax over my skin. And that is something that we want to incorporate. We have one in the basement. It's never really achieved the trickle, and it has often been quite intense. And we want to eventually have that space designed in some kind of way. So what we'd like to do is bring a water feature into the main space a little bit more. That's just a sort of idea for the future. Again, we want to find the right thing. We want to find the right inspiration for it. Again, I've talked about adding a little bit of an archway to Honeybee Walk and things like that. So there's just little bits. Obviously, there's the luxuries. Do we want to add a pool after going to Maison de Bray? Maybe we do. But I don't think that we do that in this house, which I feel like segues us nicely into the next question, which is, are you still moving? And I feel like this question is rightfully so always at the forefront of everyone's mind, because I've obviously told you that we want to move. And the long and short answer to that is absolutely we do. But what we're finding at the moment is that we're just enjoying living here, and we feel so lucky to live here every single day that there's no real rush to this. I think when I told you about us wanting to move, that was just kind of, I'm very open. I want you guys to be involved and be aware, and I don't really like keeping secrets. I find it really hard. If I'm ever keeping a secret, I'm pretty rubbish at it. So don't tell me anything. And so I want to be able to speak quite openly about things, and quite, I don't know, like on a level playing field. Does that make sense? So when I'm saying things, it's like, I don't want you to think that this is where we think we'll be forever. We very much have we love this home so much, but we can definitely see areas in the home that don't work for us. And we would love to find something that works for us now. You have to remember, when we moved to this house, we moved from our ex-council house in Milton Keynes to this house. We didn't care about the gardens. We didn't care about the location. We'd backed onto a main road for the 4 years that we lived in Milton Keynes. So we didn't care that we were smack bang in the middle of nowhere. None of that was ever factored in when we moved here. We just looked at the house. And whilst we have been so incredibly, like, I feel like I need to say blessed, because there must have been someone looking down on us. Because this house is like, it's not just the house, it's the surrounding areas. It's everything that's here that is so special about living here. But we know a lot more about what it takes to live in a house of this size, what it takes to decorate a house of this size. But also, we've realised that if you're able to have separate areas, separate dwellings on the same property, it's really helpful, especially for us. So the long and short of it is really, yes, we do, but it's not something that is going to, it's not ever going to be a fast thing. And I think I did say that at the beginning, but I understand that I'm a bit unconventional in how I approach things. Most people don't say anything, and then they just announce that they're moving. I'm not like that. I very much like to be quite, like I said, open, honest, and not really hide anything. And so that is our intention. I really, really do think that we will move to another house. It also scares the living daylights out of me, because this is such a special house. It's going to take a very, very special house to get us to move. Oh, and if you heard Porter barking then, that was Porter barking at the tiler and announcing that he had dared to come up the stairs, and he is now leaving for the day. So I can take you downstairs and give you a bit of an update on everything that's down there. It's not huge amounts. It's the realities of remodelling and things like that. So I thought, we'll go down there, I'll show you everything, and I get to see how much progress has been made as well. So it'll be good. I do think Ali is shooting in the living room at the moment, but hopefully he'll be able to let me give you a bit of a tour at some stage. It may be tomorrow, it may be later on, who knows. I'm just dancing with the people that are in our house at the moment. I've also got some bits and pieces to show you as well. I've got a little order in front of me, and I thought I'd give you an update on the kitchen garden as well, because it feels like I've not been sharing much of the kitchen garden this year. And the reason for that is I enjoy gardening and doing things in my kitchen garden for me, and it's something I am very, very passionate about and I enjoy very, very much. So when I start heading down to the greenhouse, what I've realized is that it was actually stressing me out a little bit. And then thinking about sharing all of it online and what I was doing when I'm learning myself, it was kind of stressing me out a little bit. So I just like updating you with what I've done and sharing little bits and pieces. I will say this from the bottom of my heart, that the kitchen garden is all my work. Nobody helps me with it at all. And I really want to keep it that way, because the sense of pride comes from me doing the work. So just because I'm not sharing it, it doesn't mean that someone is doing it for me. I can appreciate how that can look. I realised that I enjoy sometimes zoning out and going there and doing things on my own. So yesterday, after our friends Pippa and Jez left, I went into the kitchen garden and I went into the greenhouse, and I spent the entire day there. Makeup free, in a gorgeous garden dress, and zoned out from the world and just kind of decompress. And I'm so grateful that I was able to have that. So I thought I could give you a bit of an update on what I've been doing there and show you how the kitchen garden is looking too. So let's crack on. I've had a busy morning. Everyone has been pulling me from pillar to post. I've been editing. I've had to have my measurements taken for a dress that's being made. I managed to squeeze in a salad, a chicken salad at lunch, which was delicious. And other than that, oh, and what I'm wearing today is the most gorgeous Oxford shirt from Beaufort and Blake. I think this is probably one of my favourites in terms of the classics. I think I've sized up in this one, because this is a little bit bigger. This is like I think it's a small. And so I can wear it a bit oversized, but it's such a classic look with a little jumper over the shoulders in a knot. This is like a staple that they always have on their website. And I'm just wearing it with a pair of jeans like this. So let me move this out of the way. I'm just wearing it with a pair of jeans like this. Super simple, super comfortable, and very much work ready, even if my face isn't. Oh, before we go down to the lower ground floor, I thought I'd show you the two bits of art that I picked up at the Chelsea Barracks spring fair. So I was very, very insistent that someone buy the bluebells. Instead, I bought the bluebells. This is from Sarah Blomfield, and I just love her work. And I thought this was just such a lovely spring joy still life. And then this one I found at the little art stall. This was hidden at the back, and it's a vase of nasturtiums. Now I think Ali will absolutely hate this, but if I hide it on the bookcase, he will never know. And this felt like a lovely commemorative piece for the fact that I've grown my own nasturtiums for the first time this year. So you know what I'm like. I like to attach weird, meaningful things to things that don't really mean anything, and here we are. But I thought this would look quite nice in a little, either in one of the frames that I do, like I did with the other ones, the other floral prints that I picked up at the Reclaimed Home Fair, with the little Rowan and Wren frames. Maybe I could put one of those on there, or just balance it on the bookcase somewhere. But yeah, picked these up, loved it. Hoo-hoo! Oh my goodness me! We are almost, well, we're over halfway, I think. Maybe we're halfway. We're under halfway because we still need to do in the bathroom and in the gym and in my office, but huge amounts of progress. Not going to step on it. As you can see, we have what is looking like a very lovely floor in here. Now it's obviously going to look very strange with the old colours, so these grey tones and the wallpapers will be stripped out by Ken and people like that when we're ready to paint. I do need to start getting some paint samples on the wall, but this is super exciting. Obviously things look a little bit slapdash when there's no skirtings on, but I love it. It's so soft. Now I need to decide between a sort of creamy grout or whether I go for a bit of a deeper like brick grout. Do you know what I mean? Like if it was for a house, because I've seen both and I like both. I think I just can't decide. So I might have to get him to give me a bit of a sample. We've got electrics and water into the bar, As you can see, all of these things are channeled out. So this one particularly goes right over there underneath the sofa where we will have our new sofa, which I'm currently designing. It's going to be quite similar in terms of layout. I would love to have like a grand piano here or out here, but we're going to try and find a pool table that we can maybe strip the varnish off like they've done at Maison de Bray, just to give it a softer look as well. And then having a bar built, I do think I'm going to put bookcases in. And then I think if I can find a sort of 3-meter tapestry to sit there so that there's something there when the projector isn't down, I think that could look really nice as well. I'm having all of these ideas. My goodness, the dust. I think Ali is about to trim up the wildflower because it has bloomed. Oh, my small cashmere head. Oh, Mummy, yesterday I rolled in chicken poo and you had to give me a bath. You're actually very good in your bath time as well. Usually you don't like, but oh, that is, I can see what you have for breakfast. Oh, mon Dieu, he pushed me over. You are so naughty. I didn't naughty. Oh, your ears, I love your ears. We were looking at puppy photos of you the other day, weren't we, when we found you? Oh, the jealous one is coming. Ciao, monsieur. Intercepted. I've left my little potting table, but as you can see, nasturtiums are growing. In fact, they have almost taken over. I'm having to give my Monge 2 a helping hand because I need to get some more string to tie them up. It should be arriving today from Amazon. But they are doing very well at supporting themselves as well. What I have realised is there's been a little bit of an issue and our beds have been on way too much. They've been getting too much water, so none of the seeds that I have been throwing in have been germinating because it has been too wet. They've probably been rotting. And so hopefully now that we've turned them off, we will get a little bit more sprouting because it's not been going well, I'm not going to lie. Things that have happened in my greenhouse have been going much better. Gramps' tomatoes are out and we have chard ready to go, but Gramps' tomatoes are going to be going in the ground at some point this week. I've just laid these out to give them a bit of a starter. I need to start doing some chard as well, and kale is coming in. My sweet peas are out. This year I have popped only 4 sweet peas out because I want to see how well they do with just 4 on each thing, because these are growing very well, but I put 10 out on each frame last year and it was a lot. More nasturtiums. These are my cucumbers that we planted out, and this is my little oak tree. So I have 2 oak tree saplings growing in my beds at the moment, one over here and one over there. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to let them establish themselves and then I'm going to attempt to move them, because you'll know from evergreen that the oak trees struggle with germination rates, and it seems like it's been a really good year for them to germinate. So I don't want to waste these. I want to try and see if we can move them to another location. Oh, madam, you heard Mummy was in the kitchen garden? So yes, that's what I'm going to do. I need to strap up my sweet peas as well, and we have lots of flowers are coming on the broad beans, so I'm hoping we will start to see the fruits of our labour very soon. Oak leaf salad under here, and in the greenhouse I had a bit of a clear out yesterday and I tidied this up myself. I'll have you know, I did it all myself. It smells divine in here, and what I can show you is I have potted up my cucumbers, so I managed to salvage a number of cucumbers to go in. These ones are more that I'm just giving a little bit more time to mature. These are my pumpkins that should be going out very soon, all of my crown princes, extra sweet peas that I sowed, so they're doing good. more cucumbers. So what I'm doing this year is having my cucumbers grow up my vine wires, seeing as the vines are no longer in here. So that's what the 3 pots are doing. Ali had to clear out these pots, and I'm not gonna lie, Big Bertha had moved in to one of these pots. She is now living in the woodland. Oh, hello. You love a basket. You love a basket. And in other news, I finally have sweet corn are coming. These have just been so difficult this year. So getting these to germinate, I basically just threw in some seeds and hoped for the best. And it just seems they like to be treated a little bit mean, because I was just nurturing them too much, clearly, because this is just in an old like plug tray, because sometimes I buy plugs just in case anything doesn't do very well. And then I reuse the plug trays. And look at that. Gonna get some corn after all. This is the first year where these roses are making a real impact in the wildflower. And my goodness me. Oh, look at them. Whilst I wait for Ali to finish in the living room and also put my living room back together, I'm dreading what those shelves are going to look like. I thought I would get into this parcel with you. This is a parcel from a brand called Perk by Kate. And one thing I love about the job that I do is sharing brands that I think maybe you haven't heard of, especially if they are like new up and coming brands. That's where I take the most joy when it comes to my content, because it's where I feel like I make a real impact in people's lives. And there have been a very, I have to say, more than when there's a nice article written about me, which is always lovely, when I'm cited in an article about a business that has done well and their catalyst was through me either purchasing something or them sending me something, that is like, oh, the joy that I take from that is so, so huge. So this is why this is so exciting for me, because I don't know if you're going to have heard of this brand. It originates in Canada, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And their lingerie. Now, if you know one thing about me, I love lingerie. I've worked with some beautiful lingerie brands over the years. And even then I had such a wonderful opportunity because a lot of you hadn't heard of them, and I was able to introduce you to them. So hopefully I'm going to be introducing you to something equally as lovely today. This is the package that I've ordered, and I cannot wait to experience their stuff, because they had some really innovative styles on there as well. And the owner just seems like the loveliest person. And look at this packaging. Like, talk about like beautiful without being overly like sexualized. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel loveliest in lingerie that I feel lovely in. It's sometimes when it comes to lingerie, I'm just not sure. So anyway, this is the first load. I'm also very excited. So these are the more like everyday wear pieces, and oh wow. See, this is the thing that I'm lacking in my wardrobe at the moment. This lower fronted, but still like barely there. Look at the size of these straps. I want them to be almost invisible. But what I do is that I would actually, if I could, unbutton this shirt one more, but because my little crop top there doesn't go down far enough, I can't. So I often have to put on like a proper bra, and I don't like it. So when I saw these with this really wonderful low front, these are the softest, most beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to try these on. They do lots of different skin tones as well. I love the fact that they offer different options for the size of the bust as well, which I think is hugely important. And I definitely heard a lot of feedback in the past about you guys wanting something for a fuller bust, or being able to buy something for a smaller bust. So it doesn't just take in your size, it takes in your actual like voluminous bust. And I'm going to try one on with you as well, but I'm going to try and show you the lingerie in, I don't know, in a way that feels comfortable to me. Bear with. I've not done a lingerie campaign since I had my last surgery, so this is new territory, but I wanted you to see how this looks on. So I went for size small, full bust, and they are absolutely perfect. So soft, but they almost feel like barely there. And the thing that I think that I love the most is that I still feel supported, but I also feel comfortable, because at the moment I've been wearing more of like a sort of, I can show you what I've been wearing the most. This is actually really embarrassing. This is what I've been wearing. And they are comfortable, but they're kind of like pajama bras. And I want something that's in between the two, that still feels like a functional piece of lingerie. It's everyday wear that still looks beautiful. Like, I still feel like I look lovely, and it's functional underneath. So really love this, really love this. The other thing I need to realise is that I need to wear a few more crop tops in the garden, because this was my colour before and this is my colour now. Okay, 2 realisations there. Ooh, we have a note. Dear Lydia, we hope you love the intimates which we have specially selected for you. We love to have you experience how putting on a beautiful piece of lingerie can make you feel. It arms you with this sense of confidence in time, and we are confident that our lingerie will become a timeless part of your wardrobe goals. Love, Kate. And that is something that I will always say, is that the fundamentals of having a good wardrobe start with your undergarments and having the right ones. And so, oh, look at the box and the colours, like this blush pink with the navy blue, and then this sort of rich cherry red bow. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Oh wow, sorry, we're going straight in there with the bodysuit. So she does the most, so the brand does the most incredible bodysuits. They offer support in there as well. And they just look like they were made for your body. And you know how I feel about things actually being made for you. These are not, but they look like they are. So I'm gonna try on that one. But then these, oh, see, look at this. A bralette. All of my bralettes in the past have had wire. This has no wire. I want to be able to wear the gorgeousness of bralettes without the sort of restrictiveness sometimes of wire. This is so pretty. And it's got a gorgeous low back as well, which is going to be perfect for summer. Now, I was putting this on and I was thinking, I'm not sure if this was working, but it absolutely works. And there is no underwire. I don't fully understand how this is working, but it's working. And you just kind of adjust the straps to whatever tightness you want. And that's what generally like holds it in place, I think. Look at that low back. Wow, that's like a dream. I hope they do this in the sort of more nudie as well, because very handy. And you can change the strap so that you can make it cross back. There's a few different ways that you can do this as well. I have to look into it, but gorgeous colour, love. Now this has got a little bit of wire in it, and this is something that, you know, cute, bit bridal, but also really good for if you want to wear a shirt slightly more undone. Having a little peek of this through, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to try and hide this one because it's a little bit see-through, but hopefully you can still see the fact that this is so pretty, and I hope that's enough for you to see it, because then I can show you it underneath the shirt. Now I think I could actually size up in this one. I could probably go for a slightly bigger cup, but the shape of this is so pretty if you wanted like bridal wear. But what I love the idea of is a little sort of peak. Do you see? That's probably the most I would do. So wearing something like this for me is like a considered thing. The intention is that you see it a little bit for that more relaxed vibe. Does that make sense? That more relaxed feel. And I find that when I do this with shirts, they actually fit better over my shoulders and my bust. So having a bit of intrigue in there is really, really lovely. I'd obviously tuck it in like so. And it is super, super comfortable. This is the kind of thing that you want to be wearing on your wedding day, because it can get a little bit uncomfortable. Of course, I could not resist this lace sage green set. Just such a lovely little crop top as well, with the matching briefs, a little bit frilly as well. But also the little triangle option. This I loved, because honestly, in this day and age, I cannot be bothered to undo from the back. Like, why am I doing that when it can just as easily undo from the front? And this little triangle bra undoes from the front. Like, genuinely, the answer to my prayers. I want the minimal effort when it comes to underwear. And I've got this gorgeous peach one. Oh, the colours are just so spring, summer. Oh, the pink. And it's such a lovely pink as well. This is like knocked back, elegant. This is gonna look lovely under something like this as well. Really, really beautiful. Comes in the bralette and the triangle bra front closure. And then, I know what this is. I'm so happy that they got this for me. Oh, they got me two. This bra is like the most beautiful shapewear I have ever seen. I can't wait to try this on. Look at this. And it is so soft. Those beautiful straps as well. The cups. Oh my goodness. So these instantly, I said to Carrie, I was like, please, because these are like sold out on their website. Please, 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 can we see if we can get these for me to try? Because what I loved about them is that they're beautiful, but still functional as a bra. Like, even though this is shapewear, it feels like shapewear. It doesn't look like shapewear, but is still seamless. Does that make sense? Like, this was just so innovative. And it's like shapewear that makes you feel really, really sexy. I'm sorry, where did they come from? She really is a perk by Kate, because this has just given me a cleavage that I didn't think was possible. And look at the shape. Oh my gosh, there's a little bit of padding in this. And I was thinking that I could maybe take a size up, but this is perfect. So soft, so comfortable. Look at the back. And it's shapewear that makes you look like an actual Bond girl. Like, imagine wearing this on a night out so you're comfortable, nothing can be seen, everything is like that invisible type bandage material, and you've just got matching knickers on. If you just, you know, happen to come home and your husband and you are feeling a bit frisky, I'm gonna feel so happy getting naked into this. This is the kind of shapewear that is like really classic, looks beautiful, but also feels, this, I can't even feel it. It's unreal. This bra, thank you, Perk by Kate. I feel like you've just changed my life. Like, shapewear doesn't have to be boring. Shapewear can be beautiful in itself, and it's all about the cuts and the contours that you're creating. And I might just walk around the house like this. Oh, can we get a bikini in this, please? I'd really quite like a bikini in this. I'd like other colours. Can we get it in black? Can we get it in green? I'd love it in green. Oh, love this. I literally have no words. I'm in love. I'm gonna put my shirt on. Bear with. There we go. No more lady lumps. And what I would love to know, is there a way for me to talk about lingerie and show you lingerie on that doesn't feel quite so, I don't know, like, I love people, I love feeling like confident enough to just be like, ooh, but really want to find a way to talk about lingerie in like a bit more of a demure way. And I'm going to be filming a reel for these bits and pieces, and I just don't want to do it in like a sort of in your face type of way. So I'm going to have a little bit of a think, but if you've got any feedback on how you think showcasing and trying on lingerie can be done in a wonderful way, in a useful but also beautiful way, that doesn't, it isn't me parading around in my skimpies showing you my butt crack. So let me know in the comments. I'd really like feedback on that, because I want to do a good job and I want to showcase brands that are doing innovative and cool things, and I want to showcase me wearing them and you seeing what they look like on me, because I think that's useful. But I also want to know how's best to do that without, you know, I don't feel comfortable stood here in like my skimpies, but also I do feel comfortable walking around my home in my skimpies because that's with my husband. But anyway, let me know. I've decided I'm not showing you the living room until the morning because I think the light will be really beautiful in there in the morning. But what I am going to show you is my new little twine holder that I've got for my greenhouse. This is so adorable. I got it on Amazon for like 30 quid. And basically the twine sits on here like this, and then you have to find the end of it, which I don't know where that is. This bit? Ah, there we go. And you thread it through here, I believe, so that you always know where the end is. and it comes with its own little scissors, which look very good and sharp, which hang here like this. It's just the cutest little thing ever. So in fact, I think you put it through the other way so that it's easy to pull. And you just go like this. And it just comes. So I can take it out of my greenhouse, set it on the side and pull it. And because this is, I think it's cast iron. It did say it was cast iron. It's quite light for cast iron. Well, it's all right. But yeah, I just thought this was so handy to have little snipperoos. I am over the moon with this. I also treated myself to something else from Amazon. This is the organic aloe vera gel from 100% aloe vera pulp, but with lavender. Now, I don't know about you, but in summertime, I love putting aloe vera on my skin, especially if I've had a day in the garden. But I like to do it before bed and put it on before I put my pajamas on. And so with the lavender, oh my goodness me, what a treat. Good morning. As promised, I thought I would show you the living room in the sort of morning light, but it is kind of afternoon. I've done a Pilates class this morning. We've also done a dog walk. We've had a few little bits to do downstairs because we've got the tiler, we've got the electricians here, but at least what is behind this door is essentially finished. Just don't look at the baskets that are hiding the puppy dog wheeze. So without further ado, I feel like someone commented on my video last night that this is the most long-awaited colour reveal ever, but I wanted it to look right, although the bookcase is not styled. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to the new green living room. So, first things first, the colour that we went for on the walls is Hornblende from Paint and Paper Library. It is quite similar to the colour in Ali's office, but I'd say that Ali's office is a little bit more grey. We chose this colour because, admittedly, when we put it on the walls, even my dad said, "Oh, you've gone for a grey colour." And I was like, no, it is definitely green, but what this colour is it's a neutral green, so it's not vibrant, it's not really in your face. It will look more green in certain areas and then maybe greyer and more deep in other areas as well. We didn't want it to be an overwhelming green or a sort of really bold green, because this is a big room. I think in bathrooms and toilets and things like that, you can have a bit of fun with it. But in rooms like this, I wanted it to be a bit soft. And one of the things from the outset that we both agreed was that this space just felt so much softer and calmer, and we sort of asked ourselves why we didn't do it sooner. But I'm glad we waited, because I think we really appreciate it now in the way that it is. I can hear a sausage dog snuffling. 1 second. Is it that door or this door?
Over there.
This one? I don't think so. I think it's that one, you know. Yeah. Don't question me, I know my sausage dogs.
Oh, that'll distract him. Oh, I managed to get him in. I'm impressed.
Monsieur! Monsieur cannot be left out of anything. So, as you will also see, the bookcase has lights on it. We are waiting for the proper sconce lights, because we want to basically find some that match with the room. So these are actually some little £6 Amazon ones that I started painting.
The wrong size.
They are the wrong size. Also, don't look at how the bookcase is styled at the moment. I have some ideas. First of all, I styled it, and then Ali gave it a reshuffle yesterday, so this isn't actually how it's going to be. What I'm thinking of doing is, inspired by Maison de Bray, what I want to find is some old stone urns, so to take all of the books and things off of this shelf and have some old stone urns with ivy in it in either side of here. I think that will look really nice, and then save the books and any bits of art and things like that that we want to add onto it for these 6 shelves. You'll know that I've been kind of collecting little bits and pieces, little books and things like that to pop on the shelves over time, but this isn't properly styled or anything like that, so
A couple of bits will stay. That piece of art will probably definitely stay.
Oh yes, yeah. This is the print that we got of the black houses in the Isle of Lewis, where we visited with our friends in January. So we got that framed up ourselves. The colours work really well with the room. I think it's just very, very interesting. So
quite a few of these books will stay.
Yeah, I think the majority of the books, maybe the newer ones will be taken out, like my one, because I think for me this is like my antique garden and flower and what have you collection of books, and I think it works really well. This I think will stay as well, because I really like this one here, because I think it brings in the tones of the sofas beautifully too.
Yeah, lampshades will be fatter and thinner,
Yeah,
smaller.
a little bit more like this.
That didn't make sense. I just said fatter and thinner.
Fatter and thinner. Yeah.
Wider and shorter.
Wider and shorter. Short and stout.
Mm.
The sofas in this room always shock people. If you're new to my channel, you might not know, but these sofas are IKEA. But they are covered in Designers Guild fabric, which I got from a place called Bems. They don't actually do these sofas anymore, which is really sad because it's one of their best sofas. And I have to say, given the beating that this room takes by the sausage dogs, by Lumi, I'm really glad that we got these sofas, because we just use them and love them and don't really worry too much.
They get creased a lot because they're linen.
Yeah, Ali doesn't understand that linen is supposed to be creased and
I do
look a little bit worn.
understand.
He spends his entire life trying to iron out the creases of his linen pieces, and the fact of the matter is, the beauty of linen, in my opinion, is that it has a little bit of creasiness up to it. The cushions were done when we did the initial, first phase of the renovation. I believe this fabric you see a lot at Soho House, and then these are an oatmeal linen. The only ones that weren't part of the initial renovation are these. These were a collaboration between Carol Annett and an interior designer, I think called Cecilia. I believe they did a collaboration, and they're like my favourite cushions because they've got this lovely tweed on them and then this big fluffy fringe. I just love them. I think they add such a lovely dimension to the room. I would buy more, but I don't think they do them anymore. The evergreen equivalent of a bunch of flowers in this house. So this is what Ali gets me when he wants to get me a bunch of flowers if I've been a good wife. And this is basically how we're raising the canopy in our woodland, slowly, and using them, the branches, and appreciating them rather than just chopping a load of trees down and branches down. We're making use of them and appreciating them inside. So this is the most recent little piece of
oak.
Yeah, this is off the oak tree in our garden, which you can actually see from here. And I think this just always makes such a dramatic impact. This is a piece of art from Lena Gordevsky. She's an American artist, and I love her work so much. I bought a number of her pieces, and the piece on the bookcase at the back is also Lena Gordevsky. She just captures landscapes so softly and beautifully, so it makes me very happy. Love that one. My pride and joy, my antique Louis Vuitton trunk collection. Well, this is just one of them, and this is like the biggest one that I have. I think it just makes this living room. It's such a focal piece, and now with this and the bookcase, it really feels like we've got a nice amount of oldie-woldy in here with the modern elements of the home as well. Little champagne basket from, I think this is from Setu. I think I got that from Setu. Little Zara dog basket, bespoke made.
Dog basket, dog bed.
Dog bed, sorry. Bespoke made ottoman, which in hindsight, we'd probably go for one with a removable cover, wouldn't we?
Is that not removable?
No. So that is stained.
Oh.
We've had a number of wine spillages and water spillages, and so we do have a nice stain there. We're probably
You mean memory? A nice memory?
a nice memory, but I think we will probably one day have it recovered, maybe in something a little bit more durable, or something that is just like a slip that you can put over
It might
top.
be able to. I've never looked underneath.
No,
There might be a
fully
zip.
upholstered. But you could get a cover that goes over the top.
Yeah.
So, but I quite like the piping. That's the only
I love
thing.
the piping.
Bespoke made tray. This is a backgammon set that my grandma got us for Christmas one year. More antique books. Hello Petal geraniums. My dad's old tuck trunk is still in here. One of my favourite pieces that I managed to steal from him in his office because he's got so much clutter in there. I think he's just happy to get rid of things. Then we also have another piece of Lena Gordevsky artwork. I love this one. It reminds me of the brook that runs through where we go for a dog walk. And it's just lovely. She's just so good, and the frame works beautifully in here. And of course, the pièce de résistance. This is what we call the Diana table. Apparently, once upon a time, Princess Diana sat at this table, and in all honesty, I have studied the pictures that we found of this table, and I do believe it is this table, because it wasn't like they were making a big thing out of it. It was just hidden at the back of this old salvage yard. It is broken, it was a broken table, so nobody wanted it, but I just believe that it is. Lights are ochre. I think these are still available.
Okay.
And then these are like my favourite finds in this room. These are my pair of landscapes. I bought these just after we went.
They've been knocked. They're not level anymore.
No.
But anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So these I purchased from Station Mill Antiques, and I couldn't believe I found these. These reminded me of when we were travelling through Scotland and through the Highlands, and they were such a steal. My favourite thing is finding antique artwork that is just this beautiful. The
frames are mental, aren't they?
Oh, they're just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I love them so much.
Changing these over.
Yeah, so the very, very last thing in this room that will be changed by Mr. Millen Gordon, which I still can't believe that you're going to do this for me, is these sockets, because what we learnt when we moved into this house, I told you this at the beginning of the video, is shiny things in a home are the worst things to have, because they show everything, all of the fingerprints and the marks and things like that. So we've slowly phased out all of the shiny finishes and opted for softer, more matte finishes. Some things are a lot more scuffed and worn, and these are the last remaining things. And every so often you'll just catch Ali go like this as he walks past. He'll just grab his top and he'll go.
Do I?
Yeah, all the time, and then he'll just leave. And so he will not have to do that, hopefully, in the next phase of this, but that's the last thing that we'll be changing in this room. So, bonsoir. I'll change you. I'll take you back. I've kept your receipt, haven't I? So that is the new living room. Let me know what you think in the comments. I personally love everything about this room. It's still cosy and dark in here. It doesn't feel like all of a sudden we've gone to this really bright room. It still feels cozy, but it just feels so much softer. And yeah, we're very, very happy with it. What do you think?
I'm over the moon with it. I think it's wonderful.
Final points. The lighting is from Jim Lawrence, and the bookcase lighting is from Vaughan. And the curtains...
These will tarnish up. They're brand new, so they'll get a little patina on them, won't they?
Seen some. And the curtains were bespoke made, obviously, because these are very, very random windows. And I got the tie backs from Etsy as well.
Bottom.
So that's the living room, but I hope you like it, and I don't care if you don't. No, I'm joking.
Fire?
Fireplace.
That's not new though, but...
No, yeah. The fireplace, in all honesty, we should have probably ripped out and redone, shouldn't we?
No. Do that when you do the floor.
Yeah. The only thing, this is the thing with a house, you say it's completely done and then it's absolutely not. I really wanted to put stone in here because I know what these little Tinklemeisters are like. And Mr. Millen Gordon said that it's not a cosy living room if it doesn't have carpet, and I let him...
Prior to having dogs?
No, we had water when this was recarpeted, my love.
Did we?
Yes. that was why I didn't want to, otherwise I wouldn't have cared.
Okay.
So now we have little strategically hidden puppy dog wheeze, because sometimes they just forget themselves. Anyone that's got a Dachshund will know, they'll just sort of, sometimes I catch Barkley just walking through the hallway and he'll just cock his leg. And I'll be like, Barkley, and he's like, oh, sorry, Mum. So anyway, that's the only thing that if one day we can't cope with the fact that there's sausage dog wheeze everywhere, we will potentially change the floor. But for now, we're very happy, very, very happy with how it looks, aren't we?
Yeah, I think Ken's done a fantastic job
They
on the
have
paint.
done a fantastic job.
Nice and tidy.
Very, very happy with it.
You are 5 minutes over your allocated slot.
Okay, oh, was that 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Goodness me, okay, right. Well, that's the living room tour. Let me know what you think in the comments. Come on. We've gone from no makeup all day, every day, to full face, because tonight we are supposed to be going to a gala and I am wearing the most stunning Alexia Maria dress. Still haven't had it taken in, so you know, it could all go very, very wrong. I'm trying to understand whether I should go for opera gloves. We are actually going down to the Royal Opera House for the Wolf 190th Gala, and this is for the launch of the musical ballet box. So it should be rather lovely, but I don't know whether the gloves are a little bit too much. I always think I need to get the husband's opinion on this. I do also have a little delivery to open from Wolf. They basically do like sort of luggage, they do like watch boxes and storage for jewellery and fine jewellery, and today is the release of something very special, which doing this in gloves is actually surprisingly difficult. Now I'm hoping that I've got my own. But this arrived this morning, and oh wow! Oh my goodness, this is absolutely stunning. Goodness. This is in the walnut finish with beautiful blue details, which, you know how I feel about blue details. And you wind it up at the back. This would make such a gorgeous gift. Wind it up at the back like so. And then you open it up. Oh my goodness. This is like all of my childhood dreams, but this is like mature adult version. I used to have like gorgeous ballet boxes like this as a little girl, but they were like pink and fluffy. This is so beautiful. Wow. My goodness me. That is so beautiful. Well, this is my outfit for the gala. I actually don't have shoes on yet, but we are going to change that. But I'm going to go and brush my teeth first. I'm going to decide on the gloves. This is the outfit ready for the evening. I'm wearing the Alexia Maria gown, finally, and I've got little black strappy shoes on that you can't see my chocolates in. I am taking this bag, and people are always horrified that I take this bag, but I hate clutch bags. I hate them. And this is the best accessory anyway.
I just stand here and just don't talk. Just give an eye exist.
And I'm wearing jewellery from my grandma. That's the outfit. Just waiting for our car to arrive now. So this is the launch. Yeah, so this is the... Oh wow! I did not realise that. Ali's just opened the box. And they also have a different skin tone for the ballerina, which is very lovely. I've just been admiring this beautiful, beautiful trunk, obviously for obvious reasons. The tan leather, the khaki green canvas, it is exquisitely made, and this is what Wolf is so known for, is their artistry when it comes to trunk making. And this particular piece is in honor of Ida Philomena, so this really is a sort of homage to their heritage, and my goodness me, it has absolutely everything. This is what I want to see ladies traveling with in future. This is what we should be traveling with, because it's got everything we could ever need. Places for, is this a one? Oh wow. Oh, so you can even pop something extra special in there. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, this is just exquisite.
So apparently one of the exciting events of the evening is about to start.
My grandfather, an incredible human being. He was an inventor, he was an environmentalist, he cared about the rivers and the streams of southern Sweden and beyond. He really was an amazing man. He invented this little guy here, which is a little paper wrapped musical jewellery box. This one is very old, and it comes from probably the late 60s. And it's also playing Swan Lake, almost at the same time as what you're hearing above. So he was the father of these two gentlemen here. My father, Philip Wolf, the fourth, Philip Wolf the fourth, and his brother, John, who have helped open the box to celebrate my grandfather. So I'd like to ask you to put your hands together for my father.